Welcome everyone to another Java coding exercise. For anybody that's new, my name is Kaila Mayho, and what we do here is we go over the beginner aspects or the fundamentals of Java programming using a Udemy class called Java Programming Masterclass. And what we're going to do first is we're going to read through the question, understand what it's trying to ask us, relate it to real life as much as we can, switch over to the IntelliJ IDE and code it out over there, and then come back and test it back in the Udemy Tester. As you guys saw a little bit ago, this code does work, but of course seeing is believing, so let's get started. Polymorphism. This is an exercise we will create 4 classes of vehicles. The first class should be named car. This will be the base class for 3 other classes: Mitsubishi, Honda, and Ford. The first class contains 4 member variables or fields with these names and conditions: engine of type boolean, cylinders of type int, name of type string, wheels of type int. All 4 member variables should have private access. The constructor should access 2 parameters, cylinders and name. Also, all of these cars have an engine of 4 wheels. Have an engine and 4 wheels. So the other 2 fields should be set to default values. Again, if you guys are having any trouble with these terms, go ahead and look at some of the prior videos I did, the lower numbers. There are problems that I've went over that I go into more detail as to what a constructor is, what a private accessor is, or public accessor. I will go over it a little bit as well when we go over the code. Okay, let's see what else we have here. And in addition to the 5 other methods, these methods should be defined as described below. Number 1, start engine accepts no parameters and returns a message which says that the car's engine is starting. 2, accelerate accepts no parameters and returns a message that says the car is accelerating. And brake accepts no parameters and runs a message stating the car is braking. The messages these methods return should somewhere contain the name of the car class. 2 getter methods should also be defined here for the member variables, cylinders, and name. All methods have public access. The other 3 classes maintained above the subclasses of car. These classes have no member variables, and the constructor for each will call the parent constructor for object initiation. Each of these classes will override the 3 parent methods: start car, accelerate, and brake. The return messages for these methods should somewhere contain the name of the class to which the methods belong. And the last little bit here is we have some sample main method code that I already have in IntelliJ that you'll see here in a moment. And then we have the example output that you saw a few minutes ago when I showed you guys that this code is actually going to work. So, I know that was a little confusing, right? Just reading it off the bat. So let's go over it really quickly. So we know every single car has wheels, we have a name, and then in this case, there's some car guys out there, right? Everybody leave in the comments down below what kind of car you drive. Just make and model, year if you want to get fancy with it. I drive a Toyota. So we have engines, we have cylinders, we have names, we have wheels, right? So with every car, it would be different. So, and it's the same thing with Java programming. We don't want these classes to be accessible outside of our main car class. So the first thing we are going to do is set up these private variables inside of our car class. And then after we do that, we are going to create some public methods as it talks about here, and it's going to be a constructor as well as some action methods that we're going to use as well. And then we are going to also have 2 getters. So we're going to have a total of 5 methods and a constructor. So let's switch over to our IDE and get started. We can always come back if we have some other questions. So again, here you guys can see there's red, right? Because I haven't created these classes yet. It's being called but not created. So we know we can hover over, as well as you can create a parameter. Then they have other actions you can do, right? And we want to create a car class. Okay, it's doing fancy stuff. So we're just going to scroll up to the top, make it easier on ourselves. It's going to let me. Oh, we're at the top, duh. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is make a public class. Okay, let's do a quick review of what happened so far. So at first, right, we were trying to make it into 3 separate classes, but I decided to keep it all into one so we can stick with what you guys saw at the beginning, right? So you know that way the code does work. And we want to create that car class that we are going to replicate. And we added the start engine, the accelerate, and the brake. Oh, forgot to add those getters. So what we're going to do is right click. We're going to go into generate getters. And we want to select multiple ones as a shortcut, it's hold control. We want to do cylinders and name. And there we go. It adds that in for us. So now what we're going to do is repeat the same thing for the other 3 car choices, which was Honda, Mitsubishi, and Ford. So I'm going to go ahead and do that really quickly. And then we'll be able to test the code. Again, if you guys are having wondering anything about why it extends the car class, or you have questions about that, go ahead and look back at probably videos in the 30s, and those should be able to answer your questions. But again, if they don't, feel free to leave a comment down in this video and I can help you with any questions you may have. And if I need to make another video, I'll do that as well. Again, I want to thank everybody for subscribing and supporting the channel. I've had a lot of positive comments and a lot of good feedback. Alright, so now it looks like we have all of those cars that we needed, as well as the car class. And all the red down at the bottom is gone, so let's go ahead and run this code inside of our IntelliJ. Okay, so what we want to see is we want to see that start engine, that accelerate, and that brake for each car. So it starts off with the main, which is car, the Mitsubishi, the Ford, and the Holland. And it's taking in those given names. If we just change Explorer from, let's just say Ferrari, I don't know. Okay, so we see it worked here, right? So let's go ahead and try it inside of the Udemy Tester. Now what I want to make sure and point out with you guys is when you guys try this out, we're only copying what's inside of the class. So what you want to make sure you do here is for everyone, Mitsubishi, Holland, and Ford, you want to type out extends car, because otherwise it won't give you the right solution, because this is the key part to linking all of those classes together. And again, even though I decided to put it inside of one class, you could have broke each car into its own separate class and then linked them together as well. So here you can see we extended the Ford, or excuse me, we extended car with Ford. So now let's go ahead and copy from IntelliJ what's inside each method. inside of Udemy. I'm sure you guys know all the hotkeys, right? Leave down in the comments below your most used hotkey or shortcut. Some people call them shortcuts. Also, if you guys got to this far in the video, I want to thank you. And I want to know, what's your top programming language? No matter if it's back end, front end, a framework. I just want to know what's everyone's preference. Okay, two more. Okay, and you guys want to always make sure that you double check your work, making sure everything's right. Because again, if you guys haven't had too much experience with this tester, it is very precise. It wants you to have the exact same variables as you see listed here in the same order as the output shows here, so it's very particular in terms of what it wants. Alright, so anyone that's new to the channel, again, if you guys gotten this far, thank you so much. Please go ahead and look in the bottom right hand corner and hit that subscribe button, as well as go to the bio page and follow all the social media links. I'm mainly on Instagram. If you guys have any direct questions that need immediate answers. And also, when I hit this check solution button, what we normally like to do is hit that like button on that first try, so please go ahead and do that. It really helps the channel. So let's see. Oh snap! So, as you guys can see, it did work. Everything worked out. I'm so excited. I'm so happy. So again, if you guys have any other friends that may have problems with polymorphism, or you guys have any other examples in Java or a different programming language you guys like me to try, go ahead and leave it down in the comments below. I try my best to post every week on Mondays and Tuesdays, but if not, I do post at least once a week on Monday or Tuesday, so please go ahead and stay tuned for that and hit the notification bell. And I hope to read the comments or hear from you guys soon. So talk to you guys next time. Thanks, and nice coding with you. Bye!